again live on NTA News 24. I am Comfort Modu and we're live in Abuja. Let's bring you some of the trending stories. Ministry of Works inspects road projects across Northwest region to assess level of progress. Environmental Health Council of Nigeria raises alarm on rising diseases from greenhouse gas emissions. Presidency hints on plans to conduct credible national census. Maritime development, Nigeria targets $1.2 billion port investment through collaboration with Denmark. Motorists nationwide are set to benefit from improved high-quality road infrastructure, a development expected to boost economic activities and enhance national prosperity. Usman Zuberi reports that this assurance was reiterated during a national media tour organized by the Federal Ministry of Works to assess the progress of ongoing road projects across the Northwest region.
The national media tour cutting across the 6 geopolitical zones is aimed at showcasing and evaluating ongoing federal road projects while highlighting achievements under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewable agenda. The inspection focused on the commissioning of emergency intervention roads as well as engagement with the media, engineers and local stakeholders. During the tour, the team visited Section 2 of the Abuja-Kaduna-Kano Expressway, an ongoing project funded through direct tax intervention. Work on this section is progressing steadily and is expected to be completed by the end of 2026.
They have tried their best. They want to make the road active for us. So we thank God for government as they remember the road for us for now.
We want to appreciate this effort along Abuja-Kaduna. I can assure you in the next 1 year or two, that will be a thing of the past.
Other projects inspected include construction of the Kaduna Western Bypass toll carriageway, which has reached 28% completion. The completed 4.5-kilometer Tepmansani Road in Makarfi local government area, the construction of the Busasa-Jos Road via Torunku, and the dualization of the Zaria-Funtua-Gusau-Sokoto Road section, one among key federal roads.
Thank His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as well as the Minister of Works Engineer Dave Uweze-Mayi, for the wonderful job they are doing in Northwest. We've never had this much. And this is a government that is so determined to make sure that he connects the whole country.
The use of reinforced concrete, he said, to ensure durability and cost effectiveness, assuring that all ongoing projects will stand the test of time. The team is expected to inspect additional federal roads projects across the region. Usman Zuberi, NTA News.
And to address the persistent traffic congestion and frequent accidents at the busy Agbo-Uromi junction in Delta State, Governor Sheriff Uberwuri has flagged off the construction of a 59.7 billion naira flyover in the area. Susan Isu reports that the project is a critical intervention aimed at improving road safety and boost economic activities across the state and beyond.
This is the second flyover project flagged off by Governor Sheriff Uberwuri in the last 1 week. The aim is to ensure that motorists and commuters are safe, economic activities are boosted, jobs are created, and movement is made easy. The Agbo-Uromi junction has been a major concern as a dangerous crossing among vehicles, motorcycles, and pedestrians, coupled with poor traffic management, made provision of a lasting solution, especially a flyover, inevitable. While the project is expected to be completed in 14 months, the governor said that it will include a 1.3 kilometers flyover bridge.
The scope of work for the construction include the following: construction of 11-span flyover bridge, 33 meters long, between Uromi Agbo Highway, including necessary ramps, and roundabouts with 2 lanes. The construction work also include the construction of concrete drains, culverts, and installation of solar lights.
Immediate past Governor of Delta State, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, the Chairman Niger Delta Development Commission, Chiedu Ebie, and other indigents of Ika South local government area, where the project is sited, describe it as monumental.
Everything that you have continued to put on ground in Delta State, you have continued to make me very proud.
This work you've done in Abo, that God will give you the will and the grace and the enablement to extend this facility across other towns and villages of our dear state of Delta.
The Agbo Uromi flyover is critical to the nation as it connects the eastern, western, the Niger Delta, and the northern part of the country. From Agbo, Susan Esu, NTA News.
Now talking environmental matters, achieving sustainable land management that helps communities adapt, build resilience and protect livelihoods requires a strong and responsive policy framework. This informed the validation of the revised National Drought and Desertification Policy by the Federal Ministry of Environment in an attempt to strengthen communities to adapt to the impact of climate change. Details with Charles Alpha.
Across several northern states, drought, desertification and land degradation continue to threaten communities and livelihoods, turning environmental challenges into serious development concerns. But this revised national policy validation is designed to strengthen community resilience, improve livelihoods, and restore degraded ecosystems through coordinated action. Representing the Minister of Environment, Permanent Secretary Mahmoud Gambari said the policy's validation will provide a strong foundation for long-term solutions that benefit both people and the environment.
This exercise goes beyond mere endorsement. It is about identifying gaps and refining approaches to ensure that final document is practical, inclusive, and capable of delivering measurable results.
Director of Desertification, Land Degradation and Drought Management, Regina Waneri, believes that the escalating climate crisis have evolved, making it necessary to update the policy to address issues such as desertification, sand and dust storms, land degradation and drought.
The old copy was produced since 2007. And between 2007 and now, a lot must have taken place. We have emerging issues. We have gaps, that cannot cover what we have at the moment. And other commitments that we need to be part of. And so there's the need to update the policy to capture all the existing gaps and other emerging issues.
As important as today's validation is, its success will be measured by how effectively we translate policy into coordinated action on the ground.
The validation workshop, supported by the Agro-Climatic Resilience in Semi-Arid Landscapes, AgriSel, and other partners, stakeholders believe will produce an inclusive framework for tackling climate challenges at both local and national levels. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
The Environmental Health Council of Nigeria raises a national alarm on the rising burden of diseases from greenhouse gas emissions and pollution. At a press briefing in Abuja, the registrar declares a public health emergency on environmental diseases. Details with Shehu Mohammed Detti.
Nigeria has reclassified air pollution as a national threat, triggering a multi-agency task force. Rising preventable death, healthcare costs, and loss of productivity drove this move.
Our failure to act decisively now will place an unbearable burden on our healthcare system and compromise our national development.
Induce escalating healthcare costs and loss of productive human capital were among reasons necessitating the state of emergency. Key actions include declaring a national environmental public health emergency, regulatory enforcement, and monitoring.
This initiative will be implemented in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Environment, the National Environmental Standard and Regulation Enforcement Agency, NESFIA, the National Council on Climate Change, NCC, and other regulatory enforcement agencies.
As Nigeria navigates this emergency, the goal is clear: progress without compromising citizens' health. In Abuja, Show Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
The presidency of Bola Ahmed Tinubu is working to ensure the smooth conduct of a national census that will be credible and acceptable. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, reassured when he received management of the National Population Commission, led by the chairman Aminu Yusuf, during a courtesy visit. Saliu Abdullahi Gwanara was there.
Nigeria's growing population has increased the demand for a demographic data to boost national development. This interaction is keeping the dream for another census alive, as the government spokesman assured that the ministry he's supervising will remain worthy and committed to the task of propagating government activities, including the conduct of a transparent census. The consensus here by these stakeholders is that the delay to conduct a census is not a denial, but part of government plan to make sure that every Nigeria is accountable for on a national database.
We can only be doing your administrative matters there. The international community and people from the country are waiting for that vital legal part of the processes, and that is the national proclamation by the President and Commander-in-Chief. He is the only one that can do that, not the chairman, not any minister. So we await Mr. President for that proclamation. And I'm aware that Mr. President is working and putting all things together to ensure that this census happens at a time that it will be so credible for Nigerians and the international community to trust. And this is exactly what he is going to do.
Beyond census preparation, the Commission continues to execute population-related activities that are fundamental to governance, planning, and sustainable development in Nigeria.
With barely a month in office, the chairman is intensifying advocacy drive to seek support and collaboration with relevant stakeholders, particularly the public media, to promote national awareness pending the time a national census will be conducted. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
Northern leaders have renewed calls for fundamental rethinking of educational strategies, human capital development and societal reorientation as critical pathways to speeding up development in northern Nigeria. Mohammed Musa Askira reports that this was at the 12th annual lecture series in memory of Sardauna of Sokoto, held in Dutse, Jigawa State.
The call was made at the 12th annual lecture series in honor of the late Sir Ahmadu Bello, the Sardauna of Sokoto, held at the banquet hall of the Government House in Dutse, Jigawa State. Guest speaker at the event, Professor Rukayetu Ahmed Rufai, underscored the central role of education in driving regional development. She emphasized the need for a renewed commitment and a change in approach, noting that the challenge of out-of-school children remains alarming despite sustained government interventions across the region. In separate remarks, the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, Chairman of the Northern Governors Forum, Governor Inwaiha, the host Governor Umar Namadi, and the Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Sardauna Memorial Foundation, Muazu Babangida Aliu, called for a united and coordinated response to the region's challenges. They urged leaders and stakeholders to rekindle the ideals of unity, sacrifice, and service to humanity as exemplified by the late Sardauna of Sokoto.
We cannot all pour our resources into formal education at the expense of technical education or skill development. We have gotten to a point globally where some of these skills are now more relevant and more important than formal education.
Millions of children remain outside the classroom due to overlapping pressures, economic hardship, insecurity, entrenched social norms, governance weaknesses, and unresolved tensions between religious and formal education traditions.
Education is the bedrock of human capital development, and without addressing these barriers, our region's progress will remain stunted.
Individually, the 19 state governors are diligently fulfilling their respective constitutional mandate to ensure the security and welfare of our students.
Many of our schools, there are no science teachers, no mathematics teachers, and then we are now in the 21st century. Please, and this is not only left to government.
The highlights of the event was the presentation of Lifetime Achievements Awards to 5 distinguished Nigerians of northern extraction for their outstanding contributions to national development. At the close of the lecture series, Niger State was announced as the host of the 13th annual lecture series of the Sardauna Memorial Foundation. The annual lecture series continues to serve as a platform for reflection on leadership, education, and development in line with the enduring legacies of the late Sir Ahmadu Bello. In Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
News at 10 is broadcast live on NTA News 24. More reports ahead. Stay tuned.
And the National Productivity Order of Merit Award goes to the only tomato paste manufacturer to win the National Productivity Order of Merit Award by the Federal Government of Nigeria, endorsed by the Association of Private Medical Practitioners of Nigeria. This is an evidence of 100% natural goodness, great quality, and great taste. So eat healthy to live longer. Use Arisco tomato paste and products. 100% natural tomato. Better food now. Buy now and enjoy up to 20% discount. Arisco tomato paste, taste of Nigeria.
From concept to creation, our engineers push the boundaries of technology, seamlessly blending performance and sustainability with a deep commitment to African ingenuity. Introducing the CNG Boss, a remarkable achievement in engineering designed to operate on compressed natural gas, a cleaner and more sustainable fuel alternative. At Innocent Vehicles, we proudly lead the way in creating greener mobility across Africa. And it doesn't stop there. From SUVs to sedans, spacious buses to electric cars, Innocent offers a wide range of models designed to meet every need. Innocent Vehicle, the pride of African roads.
This is NTA News 24.
Denmark has expressed readiness to deepen collaboration with Nigeria in the area of maritime development as it plans to enhance the $1.2 billion port investment in the country. The Danish ambassador to Nigeria, Jens Olibach Hassen, disclosed this in Abuja at a meeting with the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adeboyega Oyetola, and top management officials of the ministry. Chukwunoso Wabweza reports.
Nigeria's extensive coastline, vast inland waterways, and its strategic geographic location no doubt provide unique opportunities to harness maritime trade, fisheries, aquaculture, tourism, as well as regional integration. This visit to the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy by the Ambassador of Denmark to Nigeria, Jens Olibach Hassen, is not only to deepen the already existing investment partnership with Nigeria, but to also explore other opportunities inherent in Nigeria's maritime sector.
We have a lot on offer, as do you, so I think it would be mutually beneficial and a win-win for your ministry, our embassy, our maritime authorities in Denmark, and in the end for our two great countries who have so much in common.
Oyetola, while lauding Denmark's support towards Nigeria's emergence as council member of the International Maritime Organization, highlighted the ongoing reforms within the marine and blue economy sector, as well as areas of collaboration with Denmark and other prospective investors.
We have about 28 coastal states. These states are linked by sea, and so the significance of water transportation is very huge. So investment in the area is both profitable and sustainable. Part of our own contribution to food security is to increase the possibility of local production of fish. So we're looking at opportunity for collaboration to increase the local production.
While discussions are open in some key areas of mutual interest, the ambassador further pledged to facilitate meetings with Danish investors in the sector to bolster partnership that will strengthen Nigeria-Denmark relations. Chukwu Nonsonwapweze, NTN News.
On job creation, the federal government is laying out plans to increase more job opportunities for its young population. This was when the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, was speaking at the African Jobs Engine panel on the margins of the World Economic Forum in Switzerland. In a statement by the minister's media aide, Al-Qasim Abdul Qadir, Yusuf Tuga pointed out to the panel government's approach by focusing on macroeconomic stability to attract private investment. And the goal, he said, is to create clear paths for the private sector, which he called the primary engine of job creation. The minister pointed to emerging local industries that are turning raw materials into finished goods, creating opportunities for youth and women. He also highlighted Nigeria's upcoming hosting of a West African Economic Summit aimed at helping businesses leverage regional trade opportunities. And the minister concluded by reaffirming Nigeria's commitment to its reforms with the aim of making the country a platform for job growth across Africa. He also cautioned that the African Continental Free Trade Zone must stay focused on its core goal of economic integration. The Bureau of Public Procurement, BPP, has announced the shortlisted candidates for the 2025 Batch B Mandatory Continuous Public Procurement Capacity Development Training Program. And the announcement was issued by the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of the Bureau, Dr. Adebowale Adedokun, as part of ongoing efforts to strengthen professionalism and capacity in public procurement practice across the country. A training program is scheduled to take place at the Petroleum Technology Development Fund Skills Development Center, Port Harcourt, from Sunday, January 25th to Saturday, February 14 this year. And the program is designed to enhance participants' technical competence and deepen their understanding of best practices in public procurement. The shortlisted participants are required to complete their registration through the designated link displayed on the screen and ensure that the pre-training assignments are completed and submitted on or before January 23rd, 2026. In addition, participants must come along with their medical fitness certificates and other relevant documents for verification during the program. For further information or clarification, participants are advised to contact the Bureau via email at mcppcdtp@bpp.gov.ng or info@bpp.gov.ng. From the pride of the Sahel, Yobe State government's drive for a sound economy in the post-insurgency era triggered the construction of 9 modern markets to boost growth, create jobs and increase revenue. And 3 out of these markets are already operational, while the others are underway. Let's get details of this from Yunusa Suleiman.
After 34 years since the creation of Yobe State, the economy had not grown much due to the poor, unfriendly, and unattractive business environment. The markets were still operating in makeshift structures prone to fire disasters, which previously hindered trade and economic progress. Therefore, the need to create a conducive environment for viable commerce and trade to stimulate economic growth cannot be overemphasized. This explains the bold step taken by the Buni administration to construct 9 multi-billion naira modern markets across the state.
This is a practical example of the ultra-modern markets, and we have 412 shops. We have 192 stalls and 12 warehouses, large enough to accommodate about 12 trucks
So these are the markets that His Excellency has built to expand economic activities across Yobe State. But it's a very huge market with a lot of shops and so on.
Similarly, the construction of a 500-capacity mega truck transit park in Potoskum is another notable project, expected to provide 5,000 direct jobs to citizens of the state.
Here, Potoskum, we have potentials in business, so we are going to explore them, inshallah.
According to state officials, the projects will translate to increased revenue and personal income for locals, thereby driving economic growth in the state. In Damaturu, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
We'll be bringing you a report from the Kubo Market area in the Federal Capital Territory here in Abuja right after this commercial break.
Let's have credible elections at the local government so that these credible people can manage the funds of local government properly. There are a lot of respected traditional rulers in the state who can say, look, enough of this thing. Mr. Governor, welcome. Thank you for coming. When you win, what will you do? First, we want to mobilize women within the local government to form the National Council of Women's Society by creating awareness in women that they must serve, they must be part of what is happening within their community.
If you stop expenditure on infrastructure, how do you now attract investments?
The state governors, the presidency, that's the federal government and the local government are all waiting for revenue from crude oil. Everything has something peculiar. So the emphasis now, if your local government has something peculiar to that particular local government, the emphasis should be keep producing that particular product.
You need to do three things. Prevent the ability of the terrorist groups to generate funding, their ability to recruit, and then their ability to access weapons.
I actually like this way title. I sit in the front row in the church. If I'm going to mosque and I'm calling people are passing in God's own house. What am I doing? I'm mentoring a new generation. Those things are the only way to be taken seriously is to be seen to have a lot of money.
Nigeria, live every weekday between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. on the network service of the NTA.
This is NTA News 24.
Many thanks for staying tuned. Traders in Kubo Market in the FCT are containing their losses, or counting their losses rather, after a fire outbreak which destroyed several shops. Hakimat Ali reports from the scene of the incident, which has drawn sympathy. Visit.
The incident was said to have occurred in the early hours of Sunday morning, destroying wooden furniture, tools and other valuable items at the Kubo Furniture Market.
Around 8 a.m., we were called that fire incident occurred in this market, which we don't even know the cause of it.
We cannot immediately now quantify the loss here because the loss is much. There are some of our colleagues whose shop are burned that they are not even around now.
There's a lot of money damages, machines, equipment, and a lot of property that are damaged.
If not because of the response from the fire service fighter, this matter will have been more devastating more than what you see here.
Although no life was lost, many traders say they have lost their only means of livelihood to the inferno. At the time of the visit, traders and security operatives were seen preventing scavengers from cutting away remaining items, including iron materials and zinc. The cause of the fire is still unknown.
Let also all the markets in FCT, even in all Nigeria, let them have fire trucks.
This is not the first time such an incident is happening in the market. A similar fire outbreak was recorded last year, which also destroyed several shops and property. The incident has left many traders worried about their future, which calls on government and relevant authorities to come to their aid. In Abuja, Hakimat Ali, NTA News. We
must align our narratives with our progress, address our weaknesses, honestly and project Nigeria with confidence and clarity. This was the position of the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, at the opening of Nigeria's first Reputation Summit. Hamman Jabani reports.
In the modern global order, reputation has become a form of national power with far-reaching implications for citizens. It is subtle but influential force that shapes political, economy, and social engagement, affecting the cost of borrowing, the speed of investment inflow, and international trust. It is against this backdrop that the Nigerian Reputation Management Group, a project of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, conveyed the country's first Nigeria's Reputation Summit. The belief is that reputation is earned through action, not slogans. Hence, it requires partnership among professionals, institutions, private sector, and citizens. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, noted that Nigeria's reputation score of 35.2% places the country in low trust band, highlighting a gap between its vast potential and global perception. He stressed that though it's not a verdict, but a mirror that responsible nations must have the courage to look into and act upon.
Nigeria's reputation must also be viewed through broader lenses. Our democracy has endured more than 27 uninterrupted years. Political participation is open, plural, and competitive. Our press remains one of the freest in the world. These are not small achievements, and they speak directly to leadership, to credibility, and to communication, which are key pillars of building any reputation.
Yes, there are a few people amongst us who choose a path that gives us a cause for concern, but they do not define us. They do not reflect what right thinking and what well-meaning people believe about us.
With the theme, Better Nigeria, Better Reputation, speakers at the summit described it as a national call to action, urging every Nigerian to take ownership of the country's image by being truthful, positive, and responsible in words and deeds.
When we talk about better Nigeria, better reputation, we're not imagining an abstract ideal. We are building on actual achievements, achievements that reflect the brilliance and generosity of our people.
We must have that positive disposition to whatever we are doing. Remember, reputation first. When it becomes your mantra, reputation first, then before you say that thing, you weigh it carefully. When it becomes reputation first, before you send that message about Nigeria, you think twice.
With this summit, we have taken the bold stride to harness and coordinate and drive effectively the reputation of our nation, Nigeria.
Participants emphasized that the summit must not end as a conference, but begin a movement, one that connects government, the private sector, civil society, the media, and citizens into a shared national reputation strategy. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
President Tinubu has reached out to the FCT community with a donation of 1,200 bags of 25 kg rice through the Renewed Hope Ambassador FCT. This gesture, the FCT representative Abdullahi Adamu Candido says, demonstrates leadership commitment that cares for the less privileged. Hawa Gimba reports on the distribution of the items to the 6 area councils.
The distribution of the 1,200 bags of 25 kg rice cuts across the 6 area councils of the Federal Capital Territory, with beneficiaries drawn from vulnerable households and community groups. FCT Coordinator, Renewed Hope Ambassador Abdullahi Adamu Candido says the intervention aligns with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda, aimed at easing the economic burden on Nigerians, especially the less privileged.
Kindness of Mr. President, the Renewed Hope Ambassadors project across the country, inclusive of FCT, was honored to receive 1,200 bags of 25 kg from Mr. President. Of course, to in the spirit of this season, to appreciate the citizens of this country for their support and for their prayer. And in his usual kindness, he decided that let Nigerians, particularly those of the less privileged in the society.
Coordinators from the 6 area councils were on ground to appreciate the president for this gesture to the grassroots.
I am duty-bound to ensure that it gets to them, however little it is. It's not the quantity, but the kindness behind the giving is what matters the most.
The Renewed Hope Ambassador is a well-structured organization with a clear-cut organogram. Before the arrival of this palliative, individuals has been earmarked with names well written out, given to the coordinators.
Beneficiaries also commended the gesture, describing it as timely and impactful, while calling for sustained support to grassroots communities. Hawagimba, NTA News.
Now let's turn our attention to developments in the political scene, with the All Progressives Congress taking its first step towards reviewing its constitution nationwide, with the Northeast Zonal Constitution Amendment meeting holding in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. And the exercise is aimed at strengthening internal democracy, improving party administration, and aligning the APC structures with prevailing political and governance realities. Details with Pauline Kuje Vana.
The meeting brought together governors, party leaders, lawmakers, and key stakeholders from the 6 Northeast states. Participants reviewed strides by APC government and critical sections of the party's constitution, made submissions on areas requiring reform, and proposed amendments to promote inclusiveness, transparency, effective dispute resolution, and stronger grassroots participation.
We remain deeply appreciative of Mr. President for his purposeful leadership and pragmatic policy initiatives, which are deliberately geared towards fulfilling the yearnings and aspirations of the ruling APC and delivering tangible dividends of democracy to the populace.
It was time to have a closer look at the APC constitution with a view to make it more inclusive, to accommodate various interests. So also dispute resolution mechanisms to address internal conflicts. The review also opens rooms for redefining and re-articulating the party's ideology and values.
In anticipation that we are going to have a more inclusive and gender-friendly constitution in our party APC.
The forum also provided members with the opportunity to freely air concerns and contribute to shaping the party's future direction ahead of forthcoming electoral cycles, where it was cautioned that all acts capable of tarnishing the image of the party at ward, state and national levels be avoided. Overall, the zonal meeting reaffirmed the APC's commitment to consultation, unity and institutional reform in the Northeast Zone. In Maiduguri, Pauline Kujevana, NTA News.
The PDP presidential ticket for the 2027 general election is open to every member of the party from the South, including former President Goodluck Jonathan. National chairman of the party, Tanimu Turaki, gave the assurance in Abuja after meeting with former Vice President Namadi Sambo. Timothy Isu reports.
A closed-door meeting that lasted for a few hours between the Turaki-led National Working Committee, accompanied by Board of Trustees members and some leaders, and former Vice President Namadi Sambo in his Abuja residence. Turaki briefed the media on the outcome of the meeting with the former VP.
The most important thing for us is the assurance that His Excellency had given us, that he is and will continue to remain a member of the PDP. And His Excellency had assured us that very soon that he will become more active than he used to be.
Reacting to the dismissal of the party former National Secretary Samuel Anyanwu case at the FCT High Court, Turaki said it is a vindication for the PDP family.
The judgment of Justice Umar had vindicated us in PDP that yes, we as the genuine leaders of PDP had vindicated us that yes, our convention was legitimately done, had vindicated us that indeed people cannot just go in one corner and then begin to ascribe to themselves that the leadership of a political party. This is not a market association.
Turaki is confident the rebuilding process of the PDP is yielding results, and consultation with party members is an ongoing process to have strong footing in the 2027 exercise. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
And away from that, the Federal Capital Territory Police Command has recorded significant achievements in its ongoing operations against vandals, economic saboteurs, and drug-related offenders across the nation's capital. Commissioner of the command, Mila, made this known while parading 296 cut-to-size single-core armored cables recovered from vandals. Onotu Yakubu reports.
In recent months, suspected criminal elements in FCT have targeted critical public infrastructure, including internet cables, power lines, and drainage covers, thereby causing disruption to electricity supply, other essential utilities, and public safety in parts of the FCT and neighboring states. The FCT police, in response, initiated intensified intelligence-led operations, targeted patrols, and surveillance in identified hotspots such as Mabushi, Maitama, and the Central Business District. These efforts resulted in the arrest of several suspects and the recovery of 296 cut-to-size single-core armored underground power cables valued at 31,140,000 and 2 transformers.
Some of these vandalized cables and manhole covers were recovered in vehicles that have tints. So we're going to intensify our operations. We have directed that as our pin down points are activated and as our patrols are ongoing, we will concentrate on such vehicles that have tints.
The special operation also recovered 171 drainage manhole covers, 4 portable cable pullers, and 72 bags of dried leaves suspected to be cannabis sativa. Commissioner of Police Mila Entawaye said investigations are ongoing to apprehend receivers, buyers, and other collaborators involved in these criminal activities.
We will do our best to dig from known to unknown. Known to unknown will include that we will get to the point of those that are encouraging this crime and criminality to take place. Who are those? Those that are consuming those drugs, that make those people bring them to town to sell, and those that encourage these vandals.
The command reiterates that all perpetrators, including those who receive or trade stolen public assets, will be arrested and prosecuted according to the law, and called on members of the public to remain vigilant and provide timely and credible information. Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
In Delta State, the police command arrested 11 murder suspects, 13 cultists, 1 rape, defilement suspect, and recovered 1 stolen vehicle. The Commissioner of Police, Aino Adeshola, stated this while briefing the press on the success recorded within the last few days. Details with Godfrey Nzekwe.
Addressing the press, the Commissioner, Aino Adeshola, reported the death of suspected cultist and armed robber, recovery of 1 Beretta pistol, 4 rounds of live ammunition, 4 planned kidnap, recovery of 1 FNC rifle, 1 pump action, recovery of 1 locally fabricated gun, 2 live cartridges, recovery of 1 single-barreled gun, arrest of suspected drug peddler, recovery of weed suspected to be loud, arrest of suspect for possession of illicit drug, and arrest of murder suspect at Ogwashuku.
The command under my leadership will not relent in their fight against sales and abuse of drugs. We will continue to raid every suspected areas
hideouts, and criminal houses where drugs are being peddled, while assuring Delta residents of adequate security. I wish to use this medium to appreciate the Delta State government for its continuing support to the command.
The Commissioner urged members of the public to continually support the police with timely, useful, and credible information, while warning criminal elements that all forms of criminality will be met with decisive and lawful action. In Asaba, Godfrey Nzekwe, NTA News.
For the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, there's no hiding place for drug traffickers as the Chief Executive Officer begins another 5-year tenure. Salwa Khalil Ibrahim reports that the frontline officers and men in the fight against narcotics were given a pat on the back.
What is inside? Same what?
Behind every illicit drug user lurks a supplier. And like a cancerous worm, illicit substance use it deep into the fabric of our society. Behind the scenes, however, the war against illicit substance abuse and drug trafficking is ongoing, led by these men and women, their lives always on the line in a bid to rid the society of illicit substances.
This transition is a testament to your sweat, your bravery, and your unwavering commitment to making Nigeria a drug-free nation. That remains our goal.
Nigeria's anti-narcotic agency affirms that significant progress has been recorded in arrest and seizure, and the NDLEA promises a tightened grip to halt the menace.
We will not rest until every drug baron is behind bars. Every trafficker is intercepted. Every mule is caught. And every single gram of illicit drug is removed from our streets.
As the Chief Executive begins another 5 years tenure, officers are admonished to brace up for more tactical and sophisticated operations that will translate to a drug-free Nigeria. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
The Nigerian Army has reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening the professionalism and operational readiness of its officers. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Waheed Shaibu stated this during the Officers Training Week 2026 at the 3 Division Headquarters, Jos, Ndeyang and Deyaba. Gang reports.
The training, organized by the Army Headquarters Department of Army Training, brings together division training officers from across the country to review doctrine, enhance leadership capacity, and strengthen operational effectiveness. Addressing participants, Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Waheed Shaibu stressed that well-trained officers remain critical to addressing evolving security challenges, noting that sustained investment in training will enhance leadership effectiveness and operational readiness of officers.
As lead training officers, we play a critical role in shaping the competence, mindset, and resilience of our officers and soldiers.
The Chief of Training, Nigeria Army, Major General Valentine Okoro, advised officers to embrace the training with openness and willingness to learn, noting that evolving security challenges demand adaptive thinking and innovation. General Officer Commanding 3 Division and Commander Operation Enduring Peace highlighted the strategic relevance of the exercise, describing it as timely and essential to ongoing operations within the division's area of responsibility.
Training officers therefore occupies a pivotal role in translating doctrine, lessons learned, and operational directives into practical, effective training and formation and unit levels.
The division's Officers Training Week 2026 is expected to further harmonize training standards across formations, reinforce doctrine application, and enhance the Nigerian Army's overall preparedness in safeguarding national security. In Jos, Ndenyan and the Abigang, NTA News.
The Youth Ablaze Empowerment Initiative is redefining Nigeria's reward system in line with President Bola Tinubu's administration's notable emphasis on recognizing and rewarding heroes of the nation as a way of strengthening patriotism and national unity in Nigeria. Defense correspondent Olajide Bello reports that this was at a press briefing in Abuja.
Just as the last wreath was laid at the National Arcade to lay to rest the 2026 Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day and waiting for another 365 days, the Youth Ablaze Empowerment Initiative is taking up the advocacy from where the Ministry of Defense stopped, with a view to better the lots of veterans, their families, and those who paid the supreme price. A ray of hope beckoning with welfare and empowerment at the center stage.
Remembrance must translate into opportunity. Honor must lead to empowerment. Gratitude must create impact. That belief gave birth to Hero for Heroes.
For those who still want to toe the academic line, hope has been restored. And for the entrepreneurs, it is a dream about to come true.
We are committing to 30,000 scholarships for children and dependents of heroes, ensuring that sacrifice does not end in dreams. 3,000 greenhouses to the heroes to support sustainable agriculture and food security.
Hero for Heroes is a national recognition, documentation and empowerment initiative designed to identify and uplift Nigerians at home and abroad whose lives reflect courage, service, sacrifice and values. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
The Nigerian police force has moved swiftly to contain and investigate alleged abduction in Kurumin-Wali community, Kajuru, local government area of Kaduna State, assuring residents that their safety remains top priority. In a statement, the force acknowledged the fear such incidents create and reaffirm its commitment that no criminal acts will go unpunished. Following the report, the Kaduna State Security Council met at the Government House where initial conflicting accounts from locals caused uncertainty. The police authorities clarified that the Commissioner of Police earlier's comments were intended to prevent panic while facts were being verified and not to dismiss the incident. Subsequently, the intelligence field operations have now confirmed the abductions. In response, the police activated coordinated security measures with sister agencies to track the perpetrators and rescue the victims. On the directive of the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, tactical and intelligence units have been deployed across Kajuru and surrounding communities, and the force urges the public to remain calm, rely on official information and avoid speculations as operations continue to restore peace and security in the area. This is the news at 10 on NTA News 24. Here's a recap of our top stories. Ministry of Works inspects road projects across Northwest region to assess level of progress. Environmental Health Council of Nigeria raises alarm on rising diseases from greenhouse gas emissions. Presidency hints on plans to conduct credible national census. Maritime development, Nigeria targets $1.2 billion port investment through collaboration with Denmark. All right, so let's now join our outside broadcast for a live broadcast.
And chairman of the Central Planning Committee of 61st Argungu International Fishing and Cultural Festival, His Excellency Umar Abakar Tafida OFR, Tafida Nkabi, His Excellency the Honorable Minister, State for Humanitarian Affairs, Right Honorable Dr. Yusuf Tanko Sununu, the Honorable Minister of Art and Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy, represented by Permanent Secretary Mukhtar Yawale, the custodian of Argungu International Fishing and Cultural Festival, His Royal Highness, the Emir of Argungu, Alhaji Samaila Muhammad Mera, CON. Other invited guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my honor and privilege to invite the Director General of the Argungu International Fishing Festival, who is the Honorable Special Advisor to the Executive Governor of Kebbi State on Civil Service Matters, and former Head of Service Kebbi State, Alhaji Sufyan Garba Bena, to please come forward and deliver the welcome address. Honorable Sir.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وسلم. Your Excellencies, the Executive Governor of Kebbi State, who is